Yo, what's up? Jacob here. Real quick. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today, I talked about this on a podcast with my buddy Ryan recently. But it's basically this idea that like the universe rewards you for trying. And this is an idea that comes from a book called The Alchemist, and many other like spiritual books, or like entrepreneurs will talk about this. Luck, the idea of like faith or having the grace of God. Many like religious ideas like tie into this, but basically I just want to tell a story about where I'm currently at. So I started a company called Aeon, right? And Aeon is like an athletic club / clothing brand, and the goal is to host like hybrid events and have our own training and become like a prominent force in like the athletics world, but also in like the training apparel world, so like kind of like Bandit Running. And when I started this at the very beginning, or over the summer, we would host night hikes. And these night hikes, I would take like a group of, let's say 30 people up to the mountain. We would hike at nighttime under the stars. We'd kind of like talk to each other and connect. We'd find stillness in the mountains. And it was super cool. And, this was like a very intimidating thing for me to do because, again, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I would get very anxious about whether or not, these nights would be awesome for people and whether it was worth the ticket price of like $25. Would people be willing to pay and feel like it was worth the money to go on these hikes, right? And on the very first one that I did, this dude named Aniran came. And Aniran is 25, and he's one of the hardest workers I know. And I met him, and I was talking to him, and I was learning about what he was doing, and he was asking me questions about what I was doing, and I was like, damn, like this kid, I say kid, but this kid is like really on it. Like he's killing it, he's crushing it, he's grinding, he's traveling everywhere, he's, has equity in a company, yada, yada, yada. And, time goes by, and Iron comes to like run club every now and then, or like mountain runs and stuff. And then he comes up to me and he's like, hey, like I want you to host an event at a gym that I work at. And this gym was called Kula. And the space for the gym was just absolutely insane. And I randomly dropped in one day and I was like, what's up? Like they were just finishing everything and he showed me around. I was like, this place is freaking amazing. And so, he's like, I want you to have an event here. I had an event that was super nerve-wracking for me to put together because it was like a really big deal for me that this went well, and 70 people ended up coming and it went really well. And from that, Aniran presented an idea to his boss, who was Brian Kula, about partnering with Aeon to have us lead the hybrid training program out of their gym. And he basically like sold Kula on the idea of this, and Kula brought me in, and we created this partnership. And this last week I signed the partnership deal, and Aeon is creating a whole coaching staff, classes, programming, all kinds of stuff behind this. And this could be huge. It could change my life forever, right? It could change the course of Aeon. It could just change everything. And it's the most beautiful space to host HYROX sims at and to train people. It's extremely high end. Like it's just super cool, right? Like it's a 100% a blessing from God. And none of this would have ever happened if I would have never started, right? Like the reward of starting. So for example, I started Aeon, and then one of the things that was really nerve-wracking for me was doing these night hikes. And I would have never met Aniran if I wouldn't have done that night hike. And then if I wouldn't have started the run club, I wouldn't have expanded our relationship even more. And if I wouldn't have done a mountain trail run, then even more. And if I wouldn't have kept working so hard to keep Aeon alive, then we would have never gotten to this point to where this opportunity presented itself. And then now we have this huge opportunity that now requires even like way more work and more pressure and anxiety and yada yada yada, but it's absolutely amazing. Like it's 100% a gift from God that this is happening at all. And so I guess the encouragement from today's video is to just start and stick with it, because you know, it's really hard and it's really anxiety provoking, and there's many a times where you feel like it's not worth it or not going to happen or whatever, but it seems like the universe rewards you for just putting in the work and trying and doing things the best that you can. You know, there was a quote from Alex Hormozy, and it's talking about like, this is what hard feels like, and it's like, hard doesn't feel like the hard work and stuff that you do, even though that is hard. Hard is like the pain from putting all that hard work in and like having things not work out. Like, that's what hard feels like, and that's when most people quit. And can you keep going whenever that time comes? You know, and I remember we had a clothing collection like a few months ago, and it was our first drop, and we had like 5 orders, right? And I'd put all this time, the photos were fucking epic, the videos were sick, and we had 5 orders. And I was like, that didn't go as planned, you know? And imagine if I would have quit. I put so much work into that freaking, it's like studying all night for a final, and then you just like fail. And you're just like, oh, I fucking failed. You know, I thought I studied really well. No, I failed. But guess what? It doesn't mean that you drop out of the class. You just keep going. It doesn't mean that you drop your degree. You just keep going. And if Aeon is what I want to do for the rest of my life, then one clothing collection can't dictate that. Even a whole bad year can't dictate that. You just have to like keep doing things over and over and over and make them the best that you can for year after year, week after week, month after month. And so, you know, again, the encouragement or motivation from today is like, just start and move forward and try and make things happen. And the universe, it seems like the universe will reward you if you're doing things from your soul, if you're doing things with a pure heart. So, you know, lead with your heart, go make things awesome, and yeah, make that dream come alive. Day 6, later.